Hi guys, so it's Wednesday, June 27th, and of course I was running errands, and it always seems to happen that when you're busy, you're doing other things, something big happens and explodes, and it just happened that I got so many messages and comments about Justice Roberts retiring, and I sensed, obviously a lot of anxiety from everyone, and sometimes it's hard for me to, I'm a crystal now, but to separate myself from everything and people's, I don't say demands is a strong word, but you know what I mean. So sometimes it's a challenge, okay, and I will not always be available because I feel like sometimes it's like, oh, I need to ask, like, need to know what's going to happen, and I actually plan to do a reading on the Supreme Court today just because of the rulings yesterday, okay. And so when I got the message from so many of you, the notifications about the comments and so forth, then it was like, whoa, it's like one of those moments. So anyway, so also wanted to say, guys, thanks everyone for watching, and thanks everyone who is my Patreon who has supported the work that I do now. It means a lot. I feel like sometimes I'm just not thankful enough. Okay, I know it's very nice of you to support me and everything. Okay, and that's that. I think I'm gonna. Yeah, I need to add. I need to like work on my intros and all those things a little bit more, but not at this moment because everything, guys, feels so urgent. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. It's not like you can plan. Okay, it's not like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna schedule my time, and today I'm gonna do that. Like, no, it's like insane. Sometimes I think, oh, I should post videos, whatever, Y days, but everything happens all the time. I can't just like post whenever, it's like very intense. And I have readings that I have done that I haven't even posted because I haven't had the chance to write the summaries, okay? And for some reason, I feel like it's necessary, so that adds more time. And I wanted to say also, I know some people that are new to the channel, like if you have a request of something that's not on the news, like please search before asking, because like yesterday I think someone was like, can you do a reading on Bethany children, like Catholic services? And I was like, well, I've just done one. Make sure you can search before, anyway, search before writing your request, okay, unless it's like breaking news like this. Okay, so guys, it's so intense. I was like, yesterday I was already like, I need to do a reading on this, and the reading about, and by the way, this may be broken up. I will try to even if I break up the reading into several separate readings, I may just collate them all together because I just know that it gets, when you break up themes, it kind of, I don't know, it just, sometimes it's complicated to like make sure everyone you watch everything, because one thing that came up as I'm making a list, okay, of all the questions that came out of it. It's not the main question just about the Supreme Court, but what happens, okay, because I feel like this is such a crucial moment and a lot of people seem to be losing hope, okay. I'll just be honest, okay, and I think it's difficult because we seem to only see the bad things, okay, we're not, the good stuff is not yet visible. And even if, let's imagine, even if it just so happened that it was terrible, and that even if things were really as bad as like we had no choice, you cannot get, we can't give up, okay, you can't give in to fear and or all of these things, okay, because just imagine all the moments in history that were much worse than this, okay. And people, you need to like keep your mind to understand. I feel like everybody should have inside of themselves the idea of the perfect world, okay, in the sense of like the sort of like heavenly outcome, and stay there and focus on it when you feel like you are feeling hopeless, because you cannot every single, this is like, that's how they want us to be tired, they want us to give up, but you can't give up, because if you're not fighting for yourself, it's you fighting for someone else. I think for me, it's easier. Sometimes I'm like, oh, whatever about it. Like, I care less about myself than I care, let's say, when I think of a child. I'm like, okay, if I don't do anything, then a child is going to lose their mother, or like something like that, okay? So that motivates you further to keep going, okay? Because we owe this to this country, to the world, and to every other person that we know. Not every, I don't say everybody, but you know what I mean? It's like the good, we need, others need us too, okay? And that's that. Now, let me go to, I wrote here on index cards, the basic themes, okay, to ask. And this may, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a reading, kind of like a general reading about what is going on at the Supreme Court. And then a timeline reading, which is what's going to happen at the Supreme Court month by month until the end of the year, okay? And then the question, why is Judge Kennedy retiring? Will the next judge be conservative? I think probably yes, right? And I'm asking the worst question because I feel like we need to ask those questions, the ones that we fear the most, which is, does this mean that we have a dictatorship, okay, if all the judges are conservative? And then the question, how can we, the people, deal with this moment, right, with the situation? And then defining, in this situation, what are the things that are within our control and what are the things that are outside of our control, okay? And that means, for example, even the Mueller investigation, for example, within our control is obviously we can call the politicians, we can do social media things, we can do spiritual, we can do all kinds of, these things are in our control. For example, the Mueller investigation obviously is not in our control, okay? How do we keep going in times like this? Another thing that came up was the Muslim ban ruling yesterday. And then this is important. What does this mean to the Mueller investigation? And does this mean democracy is over? I'm not saying that it, none of this. It's just like I have to, this is the questions that have come up on my mind, okay? So let's get started here. Okay. Now I'm gonna just kind of like, asking for protection and for freedom from fear, okay? Because you have to remember, guys, love is bigger than fear, okay? Okay. So I'm going to lower this, guys. And today I have 5, all the 5. I will not use all of them, but it's good to have all of them, okay? So the first question, and I'm going to use this one. I may actually, I don't know that I'm going to use tarot, but let's see. The 2 Sibyllas, the Kipper, and the Lenormand. So, okay. This. So, okay. What the hell? What is going on at the Supreme Court? Okay. Just let's start with the general because there's a lot of information that we don't know. And the cards are good. It's good to have this sort of layout, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a line of 5 for each, okay? So the total will be 20 cards, but it's going to be like 5 here, okay? So what is going on at the Supreme Court? Judge is retiring. What is going on at the Supreme Court? What is going on at the Supreme Court? Judge Kennedy is retiring. It seems this is such a crucial moment for democracy, and yet it's scary. Okay, so what is actually going on at the Supreme Court, and how will what will happen going forward? Okay. What's going on with the Supreme Court? What will happen going forward? What is going on in the Supreme Court? And what is happening going forward? Let me, because I gotta, 1 second. Okay, so what is happening to the Supreme Court going forward? Yeah, I had one of these alarms on, and so it just rang. I had to fix it. So let's go. Okay, guys, so let's get started. Okay. Okay, so first the center. Now, guys, this is interesting because this is a card of Mercante, means the businessman. Okay, so this something it could mean that there are business interests, negative business interests that have affected this, and it's in a way this is good. Is a good card for us, guys. This is called the ritardo, meaning delay. And the note that I made here is that blocco in momento. That means there's a momentary blockage. An ending, okay? This could be the retirement. And some kind of deal here, okay? So that this could be the confirmation for the new person. This is like, this to me means some sort of official signing of something, or not, if somebody else comes, something like that, okay? Now, then we go back to here, it will be the context, okay? Look, oh God. This is the discovery of someone who's doing something shady. This is good news, okay? Good news, okay? A change, okay? Money or many people. Okay, then amore upside down, that would be where we don't like. It's like we don't like it on a basic level, something we don't like. Amica sincera, a good woman, a good person. Journey, something foreign, okay? News. Okay. Now let me do the other side, which is probably what likely happens next. Oh, oh my God! Look, the delirante, guys. Not good. Not good. Another one here. So speedy. Okay. I don't want to comment on the cards other than the meaning too much, and then I'm just gonna get all the cards out and then talk about it. Okay. Success. Gloomy thoughts. The book. Usually it means the secret. I wonder if it could also be, in the context of what we're looking at here, it could be something legal. We'll see. And then the gamblers. Now this is an interesting card here. This card means, in some readings, it means enjoyment, group activities. Okay. False person. It also, I could also read it. Okay, the bear means boss or money. Okay, so Okay, well, I just want to, you know what, guys? Okay, so let me just talk to you a little bit about this. So, okay, what I'm seeing here, there's some, I don't want to say conflicting messages, but there's some, there's a few different stories here, okay? I think there is I feel like there's several, almost like several rivers, right, happening here. One is that I've said before, and I'm going to try to link the reading that I did about Gorsuch and the judges, that said that there's money discovered related to judges being paid off. Okay, so that was going to annul the Gorsuch. This is what I saw before. Okay, what I'm seeing here in terms of first Judge Roberts, the retirement here is showing that there are shady business interests. There is a delay, an ending, and then a deal of some sort. Okay. Now, there is the discovery of something illegal. Okay, and possibly a document or something that no news that would change something, again related to money. There is something that shows that here the woman who's the amica sincera could be a woman, but it could be also the women. Okay, right? Because I think we are all particularly upset about this administration. Okay, and there's news of foreign influence. Okay, so the changes related to the foreign influence create an ending, create worry because of a false person. Now, I still think, guys, it's showing essentially the story here is that there are these changes happening right now. And you see the card of the people who are, the deliranti and even the giocatore. I think sometimes it's seen as positive, but the way I see it is that they gambled. Okay, they felt like they won, and they're pushing, pushing, pushing. And in the end, they are pushing everything they can, but it ends up, the last card for them is sospiri, which means longing. Okay, it doesn't mean reality. They are exposed as false people because, again, there is secret payments. That's what I'm seeing here. Okay. Now, okay, what I'm saying, I just wanted to say also that what I'm seeing here has to do more with the vibe of the country, or the whole thing with Mitch McConnell and all of this stuff. Okay, like this stuff about, like the sense that they're winning, but I don't see here. It doesn't necessarily mean what what. Okay, one thing is this: are they successful? Success permanent. Okay, 1 second, guys. I want to. Okay, so this is what I think, guys. Okay, let me, now that I've talked to you, because it's such an intense topic, let me tell you now here. I don't know, because I want to make sure you can see all of the cards. Okay, and I pulled out more, and I'll talk about them later. So what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to now talk about here the first line here. Okay, which is the verisibile. Okay, so here we have the discovery of something illegal. that is unpleasant. I don't know that it has to do with the, we talk about this a lot of times, the cards of this, like this comes out and it's like, oh, love stuff, or I don't think it is. Just I feel like it's very unpleasant. We don't like it. And these are the delinquents, right? The people that are the alt-right or people connected to Trump, and the longing. Okay, so there is the discovery of very unpleasant illegal things that are we don't like and that are related to this shady business. You know how, for example, Gorsuch is very connected to all the cokes and all that. And so these forces are essentially longing for this kind of like destructive force, right? The deliranti are these like the mobs, okay? So it shows that it essentially this is the means to make sure this mob of hate wins, but at the same time, guys, it shows that it's a longing, okay? It doesn't show it as something particularly concrete, okay? Especially since there is this understanding from the beginning that the truth about the shadiness comes out, okay? Now, level 2, we have bilhete dolce, news or good news, amiga sincera. Now, from good news, I don't know if it's Justice Sotomayor, but I think it's good news that are good for us. I would think this is us too. There's a delay here, okay? So the news that they are coming, there's a delay, then there's success to or related to the gamblers. Now, in Italian, it means enjoyment, okay? So if I connect this card to the Deviranti, it could be like, oh my God, the gamblers are happy or they succeed. But essentially, I think that the good news are slow to come. There is success and enjoyment ultimately, okay? Because when I think of gamblers, I don't necessarily think of it as a good thing, but because it's upright and following the Italian cards, the meaning that I see for them, it has to do with group enjoyment, okay? Okay, so, all right. And then I'm going to talk about each column. But anyway, so here's change because of something foreign, and it leads to an ending. We are all very worried, okay, because we have a false person, right? We know who that is. We know it's Trump related. And then we have a lot of money, news about a lot of money, and the revelation of a deal that was secret, okay? And this could mean two things: that this deal was done with the boss, and that also that it has to do with this is a card of personal finances. So the person, whoever made this deal, pocketed money, okay, personal money. So these are the several themes that are showing here, okay? Now, if we look at the context, here we have the thief, like the news of this crime, okay, something illegal being exposed, that changed something about money, okay? Something we don't like, something that was unpleasant to us, the good people, because there's news of a foreign power. There is money, meaning business money involved, and there's a delay because of an ending through some sort of deal, okay, decision or deal. Now we have the delinquents are successful. We are worried. Could also, I don't know, it's actually not about laws, guys, but worried about something going on behind the scenes. The longing of the good people, the longing of the group of people is, and then are the workings of the fake person and the money here, okay? All right, so this is what I think, guys, and I don't think most of you know. It's funny, it's reminded me. This reminds me. I hadn't thought of it this way. This reminds me of a reading I did. I have not made it public yet, about this man called. His name is David Bossie. He is the person who coincidentally did the Citizens United ruling. And he is the guy who was on Fox News calling an African American Democrat, you're out of your cotton picking mind, okay? So, because what I'm thinking here, guys, again, there are changes, okay? And there is news that this money thing is going to become public, and it has to do with the foreign power. And at the same time that this is happening, those people are pushing harder and harder, okay? And we're dealing with a situation where the money is revealed. Okay, it shows us the money is revealed, and we are worried. And as those people, you know, the shady people are pushing. But it seems that, you know, we are, I guess, at this difficult moment. Okay, but I think this part of the reading does not show resolution, because the question of what's happening at the Supreme Court. This is what's happening. Okay, so I feel like, again, there's going to be the revelation of the money. And I think this, like I said, I use Citizens United because that's what it reminded me, okay? Because when the changes happened about, you know, the whole money getting to the elections, that's how we found ourselves, okay, in the situation. And then I've said before that Gorsuch is somebody who's essentially bought, okay, and he does whatever those people want. But it shows, again, guys, this being revealed, okay, and this affecting the outcomes. But while this is not revealed, they're going to push to try to have as much power as they can, okay. Now, I'm going to close this here because I pulled out more cards, okay. I wanted to understand here. Oh. What happens to, is that right? Okay. Yeah, I wanted to understand here, guys, you know, does this does this mean that, you know, they win, or what happens here? So it showed, this is, guys, so this is Emmanuel, like a deal. This is a man, this is a card came out yesterday for Jared. So this is a man with no character, you know, it's upside down like this. People in power, okay. This could also be, you know, sometimes it shows up at Putin, guys, as Putin. Conversations. So in the context of what we see, I think there is this becomes public, because whenever the board's card shows up, it tells me there's recordings, okay? And then what was the other order here? Then we have, what was it? Okay. Oh. I don't remember, guys, exactly the order that this one or the next, but anyway, I'm going to show you. This is, you know, a lack of joy, like the upside down. We're not, you know, happy with the situation, right? This is the protector, and this means a rich man, okay? And this is a person who helps us, or could help. But I'm thinking, guys, for some reason, I was like, is this Mueller? Then I remembered it has to do with money, okay? This person is associated with gifts. So I think, again, it has to do with those donors, guys, and this is the work. They work for, and this is the tree. Remember, there's connection to the right, ultra right thing. So I feel like here, again, guys, there is a sense of the donors have taken over politics, okay? And then we have here, Speranza card, okay, the hope. And next to the hope, we had ostacoli, obstacles. Like these are obstacles for our hopes. And this is important, guys. The child in the coffin. So what does this mean? Our hope is, you know, this is an obstacle for us to hope until Trump leaves, right? This is a blow to us, I think, essentially to our morale, if anything, okay? And it shows here, this is a litigio, meaning fights, but I think it could be fights in the legal context because of Trump, right? Again, Trump and his old business dealings, okay? This is, right? So this is it now, okay. All right, so that's what's going on now, guys, okay? So I am going to stop here for now because this gave the context, okay? You know, let me close my eyes 1 second, guys. I feel like my throat is kind of, I have to be careful to not lose my voice, okay? So what's going on at the Supreme Court? So guys, I got an interesting image. So I got, it was some sort of like, I guess it was like some sort of conference room kind of layout where to this side, it didn't show me, the only face I saw was Gorsuch because it's the only one I really know. And behind him, there's like people trying to kick him. There's almost like two walls, one here and one here, right? So on the side of like Gorsuch, people are trying to kick him, like, the deplorables, quote unquote, right? The deliranti. They're like, yeah, like, it's part of this, kick in. They want to kick in. They want to kick in. They're like so aggressive. We're going to do this, whatever. And then Mueller, it's almost like, when you're like in Brazil, when I was like little, everywhere I go, there's an ants. I know in the U.S. people think ants are horrible, but it's like there's a lot of nature and everything. There's ants, and sometimes I watch ants, and I put a little piece of paper and like move them. And I was sometimes they were transporting if you and there's like huge ants, and they were like I moved them out or something. You transport them further out and in the line, their line or whatever. And I guess that's kind of like the sense I get here, that the people who are the deplorables are like the ants, and the good in general is like our hands, much bigger. So it's at the same time we move slower. Okay, so it's this, and it came to me, guys, constitutional crisis. Okay, that's the word that came to me. So and I feel like when the thing comes out, the whole thing, and it's showing the thing with Mueller coming out, is not just going to be Trump. It's going to be a whole, this whole system, guys, that I'm telling you, that, that exposes the payments and so forth. What I'm going to say, guys, sounds a little weird. It sounds like kind of unexpected to me. But I feel like I saw this image. I could be wrong, of course, that Gorsuch, once this whole thing is revealed, I think I've seen this before, he actually chooses to leave. Okay, when the whole thing is unmasked, he doesn't fight it, okay? And I feel like he does the right thing. I know it sounds crazy, because it's like he's not doing the right thing now at all. But I feel like there's a sense of like he's kind of acting or something, or like it's a play. He knows it's not going to go on for that long. Okay, so that's just part one. Okay, that's part one, what is happening now. Okay, now this doesn't answer the question. Okay, and I feel like now I'm going to get into the details of like the timeline and the specifics, because like I said, guys, don't be alarmed. It's just showing what is happening right now. It's not going to, it doesn't show the future. It just answered this question. Okay, so I'm going to look into the timeline, and I'm going to look into the question of Justice Kennedy, and all the other questions. I want to stop now. Okay.